So unlike the first game, where it was very much a case of one player pretty much shooting all their ships off, and then the other one, we do actually have some variety in the pilot skills here.
Yep. Pilot skill is going to be the key thing in this.
The orange numbers, for those who are unaware.
Yep, so that's the orange numbers in the boxes dictating which ship is which. So you've got Kane and Jarrus rolling in at 5, Zeborilius marching in at 3, and Wes Jansen at 10. Elliot did say about trying to get things in the right pilot skill order, but that is not the end of the world. It'll make it clear to us as things go through which way things go. Right, so let's make this up to the time limit, and they've started, so let's get this game underway. So, just while we're doing I'm doing the last final touches here as well.
So yeah, again, for people who maybe aren't as familiar with X-Wing and are just kind of looking at it and giving it a go, with pilot skill, the higher pilot skill essentially is the better, in nebulous terms, the better the pilot in terms of, they're more of an ace. So basically, when it comes to they always shoot first, and movement happens afterwards. So it kind of changes things up, because then you have to think about where your ships are going to end up based on movements, because especially if, for example, with the IGs, they're both on 6, but depending on how ships have moved before them, you might want to put one of them moving first to kind of definitely make sure you're not interrupting yourself, for example.
Yep. But having that pilot skill at the same also gives each player the chance to move in whichever order he feels like, as long as it's within the same pilot skill bracket. Right.
It sounds like we've had the official round start.
Yep.
So there we go. I think that's rolling for initiative.
I think it's Rob that has the initiative.
Let's see. It gets to choose, so we'd have to. Okay, so now we have placing of obstacles. So each player brings 3 obstacles with them.
Yep.
But they all get pooled together, so you can put down one at a time, and you can use one of your opponents. There we go. We've actually got a debris field rather than just asteroids.
Yay! We have a change up.
So debris fields are more about causing stress if you go over them. So if you're making a list that's dishing out some stress, for example, it tends to be the one to go for. But yeah, they're following the rules here, because they have to make sure that there is adequate space between all the obstacles. So you can't just put them all in a corner.
Yep. I do apologise. I forgot that there was, as I said earlier, Elliot has put all these little side adaptions in for each possible variant. So as you can see, I am actually just changing on the stream all the, like for example, the IGs. I've got the IG 2000 titles, so he's put something in there for the titles. As I said, with Wes Jansen, he's got the VI pilot skills. The VCX 100 has also got the Ghost on there, so that's why I've also just changed those up quickly.
And just in case people are wondering, the little red dots and the things, I think that's just the player's way of making sure they know which obstacles are theirs. There's nothing else special about them. So yeah, it does appear we've had 3 asteroids brought on one side, and 3 debris fields, if I'm looking at the top one correctly.
Yes, I would believe that is correct there, Dan.
So yeah, I mean, I reckon this will actually be quite an interesting match. I know, like, it seems like the sort of thing I'd have to say, but no, we've got some big ships going at it, especially with the IGs, where you need to try and make sure that both of them are alive, because otherwise that title is doing nothing for you.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's the handshake. Always good to see. Being a good sport. Right. So let's. There, ships are going down.
Oops.
So far we have quite an opposed field diagonally.
At this stage in the game, marking-wise, it won't make any difference which marking we put down for either of the IGs because they've got the same ability on them. So both of them have
They are, for all intents and purposes, the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just-
What I'm saying there is you've got both of them have the abilities to.
That's a solid 4 move. That's a statement of intent right there. They are looking to just get right in there. Recon specialist, so that's going to be 2 focus tokens there.
Yeah. So for sake of argument, we'll mark number 1 as the one inside, and number 2 on the one outside.
So again, for people who might be aware, with focus tokens, essentially on the dice you have, the successes, so the hits or the evades, but then you've also got the eyes, which are focused icons, and you can spend a focus icon to turn the dice to either a hit or an evade on the relevant dice. Being able to get 2 focus tokens is quite a nice advantage.
One thing that actually came out in the FAQ is you can't spend 2 of the same tokens for the same thing. Like you can't spend 2 evades to add 2 evade results to your dice, which in a way is good, but because it kind of progresses the game a little bit further, but it could also at the same time you end up losing the whole potential strength of the list.
So again, not a very firm move forward. Possibly going to try and come in for some flanking, although obviously again with the larger base ships needing to be wary of their obstacles. I think interestingly that the IGs had pulled some slight shenanigans to not move straight up on the first go, maybe to try and see what their opponent was doing.
Yep, that's not always a bad idea, especially on the first go. Elliot's just also made the point out for us. Thank you, Elliot. That
looks like we we have a fan of Stu Chapman in an Aaron's Soul. So watching Southend Wayland Amateur Gamers. Yeah, cool. Thank you for watching. Glad that we've been able to give you something to watch that clearly has very much interested you.
See, I knew if I went through this, I'd have a good
So again, nothing quite in range for
I'd
shots.
choose good.
So we have now cleared the green tokens as per the rules, and it's going to be back to manoeuvring.
yeah.
Right. So far the ghost has been making very bold movements.
And a very clear statement of intent.
So it's now to see whether, I reckon probably a bank to try and get around the little asteroid there. Thankfully it is actually one of the smaller obstacle tokens that could be down, so not too bad, although obviously the IGs have a much easier path.
No.
Okay, right. Harder turn. So, yeah, hold down that token. I think he's alright, though. I think that was a very well thought out move. But now, again, got to try and squeeze through, but I reckon he might be able to do it. But again, it all depends on what the IGs pull off now.
Yeah, that is the crucial thing to find out what's going to be happening there later on.
Right. Of course, the main problem I have with the ghost is that from above, kind of hard to see exactly where its base is for art purposes.
For the sake of us, the base is virtually, if you imagine the diagonal of, the diamond shape of the ghost, that is where it is.
So, that was IG-88 ability of the C, which is when you boost, get a free evade.
I see what I've done.
And again, because they are sharing their abilities, that should happen again.
I do apologise for messing this up, Elliot. I've realised exactly what I've done just there, so... no, right has initiative.
I think Elliot said Rob has the initiative.
Sorry, my apologies. I was actually in the right place, but
You were?
in the wrong area.
Okay, so
There we go.
looks like Glitter Stim has been used, which I believe is a one-off kind of re-roll extravaganza.
Yeah, it's for the one turn. I think it automatically turns those focuses into hits or evades, depending on what naturally happens there.
Good to hear in your own soul. We always do love having people from further afield come to see us. We've got a really nice local community. I'm sure there are tons of really awesome local communities out there, so it's really good when we can all get together.
We wish them all very best of luck as well, and we thank them very much for coming along today.
Yeah,
and you for watching, obviously.
Yes, thank you so much.
and as we heard from the first game,
Okay, target lock on account of fire control system, obviously.
Yep.
So measuring ranges. Yep. So
You're welcome.
it's going to be a range 3. It's 2 hits, I think. And then again fire control system.
1 of 8.
I think
it's one evade. I think it's 1 damage that's now coming in.
No.
Crack shot. So you're going to turn that evade down.
Yep.
So you make sure those 2 hits go through. That is one of those things out of scum lists that.
So 2 shields.
There you go.
Yep, we'll get to that in 2 seconds if you bear with me.
Okay.
Let's
So
just turn these ones on as well. I'll rectify those in a second. So I just nip back there. The ghost suffered 2 hits. The ghost. Was it that took 2 hits?
I am pretty sure that might have been the ghost.
Hang on, but it rolled evade, so it must have been.
It was Phantom because it was the range 3 shot.
Yeah. Well, the Phantom is docked currently, and so it was on Wes.
Wes Jansen, yeah. All right then, so. Oh, that looks good. But. Yep.
Don't get alarmed, people. There is actually hull on Wes.
It's just only hull at this point.
Yep.
So we go target lock being established there.
Yep. So.
Alright, so.
I don't think at this stage there has been any damage on any of the IGs.
Yeah, it's very much been early days. Yep, was Wes. Yep, cool. So that's 1 reroll, but it looks like a focus.
Wedge took 2 and Ghost took 2.
Oh, so the ghost is also taking damage as well.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yep.
I have just told Stuart that you have wished him luck. I've told everyone basically today that people are wishing them luck on your behalf.
It was 2 damage as well, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
So, yep. That's a lot of stress starting to accumulate there.
Yep, and that stress is coming from. Where's it coming from? It's coming from.
I know we have.
Oh, it's Glitter Stim, because Glitter Stim you can
Stim,
take the stress.
And there's also Tactician about, so.
Yes, that's coming from. Tactician is coming from the ghost, isn't it? Oh, no, yeah, it is a ghost.
So, right.
But wasn't Tactician one of the things that was nerfed in the update, that you could only happen once, and that was in the second attack?
Yeah, if you're doing a double attack, for example, with twin laser turrets.
So you should only have 2 stresses on there. Because if it got one from Tactician, it would have got one from... so one from Tactician and one from... Glitter Stim. I think. Pretty sure of that. Do you want to just double check that for me for a second? That I think it's only 2 stress. It shouldn't be 3.
Yeah.
So thank you for mentioning that, Anrin Soul. We did have a little look through some of the lists, and there is a few that have caught our eye.
Some has gone.
Has the Sam gone? If it has gone, then please let us know, because we don't actually know if that's actually the case. Still seem like we're getting some output going on through here anyway. Whether that's actually the case or not, it's a different matter. I don't think we've pulled any of the cables out there, Dan. I don't think so. Anyway, it's got to be in the back.
No.
Okay.
2 from Tactician and 1 from Glitter Stim.
Tactician should only be 1 because it got nerfed in the update, in the FAQ, I believe. How do you find things in here nowadays?
Oh, there we go. Sounds come back. So it's 1 from Glitterstone, 1 from the first set of TLT shots, and 1 from the second set of TLTs at the end of turn 3. Okay, thank you very much, Bat Nelson. That it was 2 separate sets of TLT.
Yeah.
Oh yes, because one happened with the
Thank
Yep.
you.
Thank you very much for pointing that out.
Yep.
Very easy to
like I said, this is obviously the thing because I haven't had much experience and knowledge with both the Ghost or the attack shuttle.
For example, anyone who doesn't know much about the ships and is wondering why it looks like there's only 2 when there should be 3 on one of the sides, is because the Phantom is inside the Ghost currently.
Nice.
I think because of the size of the base, this might get. We'll see. We'll see. Because if this bumps, then as he puts it back, it doesn't.
No, that's nicely done.
Nice. Okay, yes, Wes has taken the stress there, but he's got a real good shot right behind. Right behind the ship there. With fire control systems, though, with the way Wes works, he could take one of the tag locks away, I do believe. I will stand corrected if I've got that wrong.
Okay, so 3 hits. Looks like 2 evades. So a shield gone there.
Sorry, shield on.
Who would have fired first? Where's Jansen would have fired first, so I'm imagining it would have been that IG.
Sorry, could you just quickly double check that for me, please?
So that's 2 hits there and 2 evades, looks like.
So that's just nerfed each other out.
Yep. But
Ooh.
then that
There's been there looks like there's been a couple of taken away from one of the IGs as well in terms of hits. We can try and find out which ones are which as well. That might help.
So yep, okay. Now we've got the shot straight into the back of.
B's lost 2 shields.
B's lost 2. Okay, thank you for that.
Yep.
Integrated astromech.
Thank you so much, Anna Soul. I hope I said the name right.
That's probably as good as I'll be able to say it for the rest of the day. So
Thank you so much.
So we've got Wes that has now discarded his astromech. He's also taken a damage on him.
There we go. So it's 3 hits there. Don't know if that other dice was meant to be there. But that's not a good evade roll though.
If this is a shot from the Jump Master, sorry, not Jump Master, the Ghost.
So there we go, two on that one there as well. So
Okay, so number 1 has lost its shields, also taken 2 damage.
hey, Superbeard, if he wants to lick boots, let him do it.
Yeah. So if I do that. Yeah.
Okay, so now we have maneuver dials going down again. So
You just gotta love chat, don't you?
yep.
It's at least keeping these games interesting, and hopefully we can continue to do so for the rest of the day.
Thank you guys, any of you that have just joined us.
Yep.
Thank you for tuning in and listening to us rumble on.
Yep. We're hoping we'll bring you some educated X-wing play today. When Elliot joins us later on, he will be much more educated than us, and hopefully be able to give slightly more informed decisions.
So here we go. Ghost rounding corner there, and recon specialist letting them take 2 focus tokens. And yep, so one IG just moving forward, trying to not let the little terrier behind him keep nipping at his heels.
Mm-hmm.
And there we go. Maybe moving this one in will help discourage that behaviour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably going for a block there. Trying to block whilst also still having an arc, although through an obstacle on the Ghost. So let's see. Ooh. That's going to be very tight, but I think it's a bump. Yeah. But, still remove the stress. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously using a secondary weapon as a turret doesn't need to be in arc. So, terrible first shot. Dice do that sometimes, but good thing if it's right. So again, that's looking like a couple of focuses in there. Which, yep. And just the one evade there. So I think that's 2 shields off the Ghost, who will be returning some fire, but again that's going through an asteroid, so that's an extra evade die. Unless I think it's just out of range. So yeah, it's going for the original target, meaning through an asteroid. So yep, using focus token to make that 2 hits. Yep, there you go, 2 evades on account of auto thrusters.
Yeah.
There we go.
So again, yep. As often the case, I find auto thrusters pay for themselves pretty quickly, especially if you're happy to chuck out shots at range.
Mm-hmm. But having both of them with the cannons, it isn't going to make too much of an overall difference, because with the cannons, when you're defending, you get no range bonus.
Yeah.
So you can quite happily sit at range 3, get all the advantages. And with auto thrusters, you sit there going, well, I'm also going to potentially evade a little bit better as well.
So yep, there we go. That's like a couple of focuses. Yep, spending the last focus token there.
3 evades.
Yep.
Wouldn't you believe it?
It was a difficult shot still, but
yeah. Just so you're aware, this is using up the phantom shot.
Okay, so I think possibly background to maneuvers.
Yep. I think this has been quite a good game to get us into round 2 with. It's a bit different. Like I said, for me, it's using chips I don't necessarily know too much about with the terms of the Ghost. Having the 2 IGs is also something new for me as well. Yes, again, I did use it for a challenge with the Pirate King, also known as Chris Turner. But I flew it a lot worse than what Robert is doing now. So.
Right, so.
I mean, they are playing incredibly well. It's not usual you get to see the Ghost out in a tournament.
No, the Ghosts don't really get much of a fair share of the gameplay because, yes, they're strong, but they have no agility. But you end up spending quite a lot of points to put the Phantom also on it, and then it compromises what else you can put in there with it. But to get Wes in there for the points, he's done pretty well to get that out of there.
Yeah.
So we have some predictions from viewers about
potential moves. Yeah.
Potential moves. Yeah. Stu chases the B with Wes. 5k the Ghost suggests the other one. Yeah. So, in fact.
So he's doing a 3 straight here.
Yep. I guess just trying to keep the range.
Yeah, I think also next turn, if he can turn left, he'll bring himself back in towards.
And again, 2 focuses
towards the middle of the board. That's what I think. I think that's the way Stuart's going to play. He's going to make sure he gets used to the recon specialist, which is what I would do.
Yeah, I'm personally, like, depending on the ship with 0 agility, not too fussed about it. Like Decimators, for example, soak up so many hits that it doesn't necessarily matter too much.
And also having the turret there, position doesn't need to make much of a difference for Stuart here, but if he can make sure he can get that arc on, then it's going to do a fair chunk of damage. At range 1, that is 5 attack dice, because he gets +1 for being in range 1. And against ships with only front arcs, that could be crucial. Hopefully, Stuart has followed up on B here. He's actually going the other way. Ooh. I think maybe Stuart was expecting that, but if he was going to do that, I can't see why he didn't think about doing a slightly faster straight move.
Right, so there's target lock. Is that Critis in? So yeah, there we go. So getting what I would say is a range 2 shot. Yep. Let's see what happens. Okay, so yep. 2 shields off of the ghost.
And a crit.
And
We
a
don't
crit.
know exactly what that one is. It'd be nice to see that a bit close to the stream. It makes it a little bit more difficult to read, but we can sort that later on. So shields are down. That was just one actually on the ghost, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. We presume.
Unless it was a
unless
direct
it was
hit.
direct hit, but we couldn't see because they kept it fairly low. I mean, I think one thing that we could try and improve the setup is to have like a small handy cam that we can switch to for someone out there who can check dice rolls and.
Yep.
But that's all in the future.
Here we go. Here's some big moves here. That's four.
Oh.
That's 4 hits.
Only 3 evades. And, yeah, it's.
So he's using Glitter Stim to make those 4 evades.
That was nice because that would have hurt. That would have hurt.
That is actually a good point there, Juice84, because heavy laser cannons, you can't take crits. Damage gets resolved back down to hits. Do you want to just quickly go and check that down for me? Sorry to be a pain. Because there was a shot from IG-88B against the Ghost, where the Ghost has now taken a crit, and HLCs can only take hits.
I think that was just a primary shot. Because you only, yeah, because it was from that one. It's just a primary shot. There wasn't a cannon.
Okay.
I'll double check then.
Yep. It's always worth checking these things. It was a good. If that is the case, the Juice. It was a very good spot. While we're just waiting for Dan to get that checked, I'll just go through who's currently watching the stream. We've got Anrian Soul, Bat Nelson, Bonza Koala, CPC Fix B, Jerkil, Eback the Cat, Funky C9, Jazzmax, Lord Bladesroo, Oran Soul, Ralandrilto, Soul Fett, Super Beard Zero, the Juice 84, the Madge, and Vodwins.
We have new viewers. Hello.
We do.
Apparently it was on a reroll, and they're saying that on a reroll it can. Both players seem to be quite solidly
Okay.
agreed on that. I'm not 100% myself.
Okay.
We have gained more viewers. I'm so happy about this.
Well, I think we will as the day gets on, because we started at 9, and for a lot of people it's a bit early on a Saturday.
Cool.
Yeah, there we go. Rerolls do work. Cool. So, yeah, there we go. That explains it. Always worth checking, because I've certainly learned something there. So, right. So, what have we got going on here? So, still just...
Hmm.
I kind of feel like I would have brought the ghost around a bit by this point, but...
Yeah, that's also my thought as well. I think I can't necessarily remember the strength of the Ghost dial, but I would definitely want to have been doing a hard in towards the board, especially with that move that's now coming up. If you'd done a hard turn, that would have possibly covered that, and may have actually ended up causing a bump, or at the very least being at range 1. But yeah.
Yep, there we go. So we've got a nice little loop around there. Yeah, stress could be very, very damaging.
Funky C9, hello. I've just seen it. Said hi, and I was kind of said hi back.
Okay, so let's get the dials out of the way. time to start resolving some shots. So
Wes is just in range 3.
yeah,
So Wes goes first. That's 3 hits. That's a nice solid roll there. Yeah, but
Yeah.
with auto thrusters anyway at range 3. Yeah. So here comes a shot firing back.
yeah. So
1 hit.
Well,
and
this is
reroll.
the thing for
3
me.
hits.
Wes, after attacking, you can remove one of the parts of the target lock. Why? I'm not sure how much Stuart has played, but that would have been something I would have been looking to do.
So that was a damage that got through on that. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
on Wes.
So. Huh. Okay.
3 hits on Ghost.
I'm wondering why they didn't just go for the 5 dice.
Sorry,
Oh no, it wouldn't be 5 3, it'd be 4.
Sorry, 3 hits through on the
Yeah,
ghost.
3 hits through on the ghost. Okay. Ooh. Oh, that's that made that a much less problematic situation there. Just the one shield.
I think looking on the other screen that we've got here, which we can actually see a bit more of the table, I think there's actually 2 hits done to IG-88C here. So I must have missed something at some point.
Yeah. Bat Nelson says that a second time that ability would have been very useful, but actually missed. Oh, Elliot's given us an update. Hey guys, made a new graphic for the bottom corner.
Right, so...
Total.
So actually, what I need to do is go into... It's a good thing you spent time with me, Elliot, trying to teach me how things work. It's that one. It's that one. Yep, thank you for that, Elliot. That's much nicer and more clear cut as the game is now well and truly on.
Right. So we've. Yep. Here we go. So we're finally coming round. I feel like a bit late still, but.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
You could have a situation now where that one's actually ended up doing a IG-88B is now doing a straight manoeuvre. Okay, so why did it end up taking an extra damage there? That's
Might have been the crit earlier that we didn't see.
yeah. But
Yeah,
here
there we
comes
go.
here comes this bump that we were thinking of. So that means, oh, did that just slightly? No, it's not.
No, that's.
That I think it's the right time actually now. You may think it was a turn too late, but next turn obviously it's going to have to do it hard that way. So yet again, Stuart can work with that.
Give him the benefit of the doubt and assume he was just leading him into a trap.
Yep.
Yeah, the crit for white maneuver gives stress. Yeah. The loose stabilizer, I think it's called.
Yeah. So this is looking a bit more different now. There's only going to be one shot coming in the direction of Kanan this turn. Wes could come in on the prowl, which it looks like he's doing a bank.
Ooh. Set him up for a pretty nice shot there. Bonza Koala, hoping to see a rebel win. They don't win often these days.
Yeah, that is true.
I think that's fair to say. I mean, at least here at the local store, we have a fairly reasonable like rebel group. So I think we will see certainly some lists up there. So super beard. Let's do some team's best. Well, we saw his list and it just looked really interesting, which is why we've actually...
It more or less popped out at me and Dave.
So yeah, and I'm having absolutely zero regrets about that because it is a very interesting list and it is providing for quite a fun game.
Plus, it's Ghost, and Ghost doesn't really get out much, and it's probably a good thing we brought that out.
Yeah.
You know, Jump Masters usually get most of the limelight, and it's more or less the smaller ships and Jump Masters that usually get brought out more often.
Right.
Oh, so we've lost one of the IG-88Bs here. My apologies.
Ooh.
So it must have been the shot from. Hang on a minute. So that was number. Did he fly number 2 off the board?
Ooh.
But hang on, have I got the things wrong?
Yeah, well, 'cause one of them only had 2 hull left.
I will go and have a look.
Yeah, because I think I may have made a slight. Well, while we're oh hello. While we're nipping off the stream to have a little look at a few things, so Wes killed the IG8, yeah,
because it was in a very good position. Yep. I did mention earlier, Wes had managed to set themselves up in a very nice position for firing, and IG rolled blanks. So, yep.
Okay, thank you very much for that, guys. That has helped us.
So I'm gonna have.
Don't know where my numbering has gone slightly
Rob
wrong here.
rolled 2 hits, 2 crit. No, Stu rolled 2 hits, 2 crits, and Rob rolled blanks.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just in.
So that's a very dead ship.
Yep. I do apologise for getting my numbering a little bit wrong, guys.
And here we go as Wes continues his aggressive style and moving in further.
Yeah, and this is the thing now.
Now IG-88 has lost their partner. So they've lost a lot of their ability.
Yeah, if it was me, I would start to use Wes as a. Well, Wes is probably potentially going to go down this turn, but Wes is going to get his shot in first. So. There we go.
Yep, that's 2. Let's see how the evade goes.
There's 1 evade. Loses a shield.
Yep.
So there's 1 shield left on the remaining IG.
So yeah, it's looking fairly like IG. The remaining IG is just going to have to fight to maybe scrape some points.
Well, there's already scraped some points here because of the half points for the ghost.
So
if it was me, I would use this chance to bring Zeb into play,
there we
possibly.
go.
But
That's Wes. He was only on the 1 hull.
yeah.
So yeah, this is
Nope.
This is interesting. Because of course it's now a technically 1-on-1, but then of course there is that
Phantom still locked in the middle of there. It's all going to be a question of how Stuart's going to play this one out to the end. He's not too far away.
That's a lot of focus, isn't it? Yep. So there we go. Oof. Right.
Ah, yes, because
Oh. That is game. That was exactly the amount needed.
We did have the 5
blimey.
dice rolls.
Yep.
Yay!
Absolutely fantastic.
We have a dead ship.
That was an excellent shot right there. I mean, a very unfortunate evade roll as well, but Stuart had set himself up very nicely for that.
Well done, Stuart.
Well done.
And well done, Rob.
Yep. I think it might be worth bearing in mind we've still got a good half an hour. just give them a few minutes to start packing away, and then we'll if you ask them just when they've finished packing up to bring them in. That's an interesting little list you just passed in my direction from James Gill. It's got Poe with R5P9 auto thrusters and veteran instincts. For me, the way that's running, Poe Dameron that build is quite nice. Jake Farrell with all his funky shenanigans, push the limit. Veteran instincts, so he's going to be running at 9 rather than 7. Carl Catan with adaptability, so he's going to get a +1, so he's at 6 normally, so he's going to be at 7. With twin laser turret and recon specialist, that looks quite nice to me. One thing I was just thinking of when I was looking at the way this game went was Zeb's ability, and I think if I remember correctly, Zeb's ability is let's get away with that. Yeah.
Stuart seems very happy with himself. I love it.
Yeah, he should be really. It was a really, really nice.
I walked out and he had a massive smile on his face. It was lovely.
Yeah.
So they're now just writing the exact points.
Yes.
Yeah.
I kind of pointed out.
Although that's kind of.
As soon as you finish packing up, if you want to, fill that in first and then head
Oh,
round back and
wow.
speak to the guys.
Look at this holder for the
It's
rulers.
really nice. I do like that.
We're seeing quite some nifty stuff coming up today. We had a lovely little deck holder, and now we've got a.
Thank you very much, James Hayward. We're certainly trying. We're learning still.
We are still learning. James is actually one of our, especially to myself and Chelsea, very dear friends.
Hello.
How did you not notice that?
I don't know. Okay, hey James, how you doing? I'm sorry.
As our faithful Nightbot has said, if you haven't already, if you're enjoying the stream, please chuck us a follow for the channel, because
thank you, Nightbot.
Yeah, works tirelessly with no thanks. But yeah, because the more followers we get, obviously the more we can show that the streams are bringing in attention, which means that we can potentially start trying to do more stuff. So it's definitely good.
Thank you guys so much.
While we're doing that, I have noticed there's a few obviously new people in the stream.
There is a very lot of new people.
Yes.
Hello.
We are picking up steam now.
Hey guys.
Picking up steam on stream.
Yep.
So we've got AB Astinus, Andrea's Soul, Bat Nelson, Bonza Koala, CPC Fix B, Dr. Jackal, Eback the Cat, Funky C9, Grendon 64, Green Dan, sorry, my apologies. James Hayward, Jazz Max, Lord Bladeroo, Oran Souls, Roldrito, Zolfet, Superbeard 0, The Juice 84, the Mad Zed, and Vaudoens.
Hello guys.
Sorry, my apologies.
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine for some reason.
If you are new to watching this, welcome.
Yep, absolutely.
People who have been here for a while. Hope we're not boring you.
And thank you for putting up with us.
Yes.
We're sort of fairly new to all this stuff.
Hello.
We have a Rob. We have a Rob.
Hello. I will move out the way.
Yep. If you just take a seat, you're taking my very hopefully warm seat.
Oh, lovely.
So we actually really like the way these lists actually worked out.
Mm-hmm.
As I was sort of saying on stream, for me, the IG88s is not something I normally run, but at Athena we have been doing a few challenges on what we've called our Road to Regionals, which included myself playing one of our judges here today, Chris Turner, using actually the Brobots, and I failed miserably, and that was definitely well more played than I actually did. And we've got Stuart.
Hi guys.
Yep.
Right.
You've had quite a lot of fan base, Stuart, kicking around in in the stream chat from
Have
one
I?
of your buddies. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
good lads.
got folks from your club.
Yeah.
So I get no love at all.
Well, we
Story of my life.
right. So, but basically, that was a really entertaining match to watch. I mean, because again, there was the thumping with the ghost of, for at least for the beginning, it's just a ship, but has something else in the pocket. So I was wondering how that was going to go. But so Stuart, what were you thinking when you built this list? What was your priority, as it were?
Well, I was thinking, because I was trying to get a bit of control with the tactician.
Yep.
I started off with an ion cannon on it for ultimate control, so I could sort of tacky on with the ion, and that worked quite well, especially with the big ships, because of the double tap. And yeah, I just decided to go for TLT because you got less of a blind spot. You get those range 3 shots and get aces. Wes is their preliminary for getting rid of the focus on a jump master, so to knock him out. And that's my theory, and it's been working out all right so far. So
Yeah.
yeah.
There was a couple of things that we did notice though. It doesn't also just affect the focuses; it also affects part of your opponent's target lock as well. So there was a couple of times when Rob had a target lock still on one of his IG-88s, and you could have removed one part of his target lock, so he didn't have a target lock to fire with as well.
Yeah, that's right.
He did say that he'd forgotten a few times.
Your friends were very quick to to jump on that.
And Wes went the wrong way as well. It was just took a detour.
Yeah, just took a scenic route.
Yeah.
But so Robert, what was it you like about the IGs?
I think it's just because I didn't play them when they were popular.
Yeah.
I was always been an Imperial Ace flyer, that sort of thing. And once they faded away, I was like, oh, I'll give them a go. And obviously with the crack shot coming out, that helps them quite a bit.
I was really scared about going up against glitter crack robots. I've got a guy that used to play it quite a lot, and he just always wiped the floor with me. So yeah.
The problem I had was, obviously Wes, when you remember, did take the target lock away, which was annoying. But when you're shooting against the ghost, whatever you roll, you get. So you're not getting that double tap.
Yeah.
Because if I roll one hit, okay, I've got one hit, end of attack, that's quite frustrating. And I think Wes probably survived one round longer than maybe he should have done. Which then he went on to take out one of my IGs. So.
Wes kind of turned into the MVP, I think. A bit.
And I think the thing that won the game for you was tactician.
Yeah.
I think that had such a positive effect on controlling me, because I just did not see it coming, even though you told me, and I just totally forgot you had tactician, and then you triple stressed me, and I'm like, oh, now I run away rather than.
Especially if you've already taken the stress for glitter crack,
which is what you did both times, didn't you? Yeah. And I mean that was 3 rounds that I didn't shoot.
Yeah.
And that's 3 rounds of heavy laser cannon in that I didn't do.
Yeah.
So I think that won the game quite decisively for you at that point.
And with those amount of turns, with not being able to use as heavy laser cannons, that would have been potentially 12 damage potentially, somewhere between 9 and 12 damage, especially against the ghost. That would have killed that.
Yeah.
So that could have quite easily have changed the aspect of the game. But as I was saying on the stream, I haven't really had a chance to use the Ghost and the Phantom yet, so it was nice to see. That's partly one of the reasons why we wanted to get you on the stream actually.
Okay, cool.
And then we sort of going against IG, just like, ooh, this isn't. Yeah, we were lucky it wasn't against Jump Masters, because we've seen a few of them. Our last match was actually with 3 Jump Masters.
So beautifully painted.
Beautifully painted, I must.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a nice.
Well, if I'm going to lose to that, I'd rather do it on the internet where everybody can see it.
yeah. But losing with the list that you had, for me, I always found problems when I was running the IG-88s, because I normally only run the Rebel stuff. So when I threw this down the Scum challenge to Chris Turner being one of the judges, I thought, right, there's several things I could do. I could go with what I know, which is turrets, or I could go something a little bit out of the box. And when I thought, hang on a minute, those 2 IG-88s, if I play them right, will work out okay. But I didn't make them work out that well. I kind of got drawn into attacks very early on, and I think the way you flew them there, Rob, even though that you were handed down with that tactician and stress, you flew them a lot better than I did. I do applaud that.
The thing that really got me is right at the end when you had to do a 2 hard to stay on the board,
Yeah.
and I did the 1 forward,
Yeah.
I really didn't think that was going to bump.
Right.
And I thought I was going to get
It was
like,
close, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was like, I think it was just the nub, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was bumping.
Yeah.
And if that hadn't have done, if that hadn't have bumped, that
Yeah,
would have been
you've
like
got
a
one
really
shot.
nice range
Would have been.
one shot.
Yeah.
Obviously, you were stressed, so you wouldn't have had your ability.
Yeah.
Not that it would have made ultimately that much difference, but if that was quite upsetting that I bumped you at that stage.
But, I mean, what did the points end up being in the end?
56 to 100.
Yeah,
So,
I
I mean-
got half the ghost and all of Wes.
Yeah.
So I mean, as the feats go, that's actually not bad. I mean, I'd be alright with that myself.
Yeah.
And so Stu, you were mentioning you mentioned the jump masters earlier.
Yeah.
So you were expecting a lot of them. Then.
Oh yeah, because they're just everywhere now. Aren't
we
they?
we have got quite a lot here today.
I've got a mate that we came up with who did very well. He got a top 16 at the Yavin competition.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
And he was panicking this morning because we got back to into Norwich, played a couple of games, and then we read the FAQ.
Oh yeah.
And,
We actually had well,
and he was a
myself-
bit distraught about it.
Well, myself, Elliot Baker will be joining us in the booth later on.
Yeah.
Chris Turner, who's outside doing commentary, and Chelsea. We all had a little okay, we need to go through this because this is going to be legal and we're going to have to go through it. So we did a little thing last night, and it did feel, from my point of view, that it did slightly nerf the Jump Masters a little bit,
Yeah.
especially if they were going to play the Agromech rather than the Overclocked.
Yeah.
Um,
And with the nerf for sale, there was a few things that affected my list as well.
yeah.
With the double tap for the TLT, I'll get the extra shot.
Yeah, that made a big difference.
Yeah. The tactician doesn't fire off on every shot.
Yeah,
And
that was something that
and
we
the
saw
fire
as
control
well.
only happens after the second shot as well. So, and I think in balance, it makes it a little bit better.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think at least the general consensus so far has been like the changes are good, but the way FFG kind of didn't. It would have taken them maybe 5 minutes to check the list of regionals.
Timing was horrible.
But they kind of threw it out there, and it's
Well,
caused.
and backdated it
And backdated
it.
5 days
Yeah.
to the start of the week. So you've got some people who may have had some regional matches for some reasons thrown in the middle of the week,
Yeah.
and they've got by with that okay. And then it's us with the new FAQ launching or hitting us the day before, changing potentially a whole lot of lists, and changing some of the gameplay. But overall, it has been a good change, as Dan was saying.
Yeah. But so if you were going to pick something to face that would just be fun to face against, either for whatever reason, what would you like to be seeing?
I know what I don't want to see.
No, go on then.
I don't want to come up against Tie Swarm. I think I'm just going to get mullered.
Andy
Yeah.
Patterson too. The
Yeah.
guy who wouldn't
Yeah.
I know I've seen at least one time swarm out there.
Yeah.
But yourself? Is there
I
anything-
like shooting down Fell. That's
Oh,
the
right.
best.
That's-
That's facing Fell and shooting him down is just the best feeling ever. It's good.
Yeah, with
Four
all
TLT
those TLT shots.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
TLT Y wings.
The reason I don't want to play 4 TLT Y rings is because at the System Open, I sort of doing hand gestures and nobody can see what I'm doing. I did a 2 hard into the side of like a TLT Y wing bank, so all out of arc. I've got auto thrusters. I took 6 damage because I just could. Every time I rolled, it's like he'd roll 2 hits, and I would roll 2 eyes and an evade, so my auto thrusters didn't
Yeah.
work. So I took 6 out of 8 damage. And I'm like,
Nasty.
I hate TLTs now.
TLTs are awful.
Yeah. In terms of Y-Wings, I'm much of a fan of Y-Wings, and I actually did have a list which was before we had the TLT come out, which was the Rebel side. It was for Gold Squadrons with Ion Cannon and Archer Astromech.
Iron cannons are fun. Yeah, it's just they just don't put the damage out though.
No, but I thought, it was more kind of getting that control element, and I like that control element, and you could also set up a little potential little kill box if you can get the angles right. And being to ionize something off the board is just so fun.
Yeah. Especially if it's a big ship.
Yes, yeah. But it just takes you a little bit longer when it's with a bigger ship,
Yeah.
but they do move like twice as far anyway,
That's
so...
right.
Yeah.
So it's still early days. What are your thoughts going forward? I mean, how do you keep yourself focused over an entire day?
Energy drinks.
Yeah,
Nicotine.
yeah, energy drinks and nicotine. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
And I think whether you win or you lose, you just got to keep yourself motivated.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you won two,
Yeah.
like like your first two, you're kind of thinking, okay, next person I'm going to play has also won two.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like.
Yeah, I think it's important to stay
Yeah.
positive as well, isn't it? Because as soon as you start getting a bit
Yeah.
downcast, you start making silly moves.
So the way I look at it now is I think, well, okay, my next opponent has also lost one. So, you know, maybe if I win that one, I can kind of submarine it a little bit.
Yeah, that's also the thing as well. You could, we don't obviously know how these pairings have been matched together. You could have some lists which are more towards the top end. They get paired against each other early, and it obviously separates them across the rest of the field. But it'll be interesting to see how things work for the rest of the day, and especially see how things start to settle down. I think we'll start to see things settle down come game 4 or 5. And but we are selecting lists that we like seeing. Maybe not necessarily the top table games.
You want to see fun games, don't you?
We want, yeah. There was about 3 or 4 lists we could have chosen for that game, but we thought we'd choose yours out of the pot, Stuart. But yeah, it was nice to see some IGs because we don't really see much play with the IGs either.
So yeah, it was a good list, and it certainly, as someone watching it, made for a really fun game.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Nice, thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of nicotine, that's
Yeah,
That's where I'm headed as well.
Good luck.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, nice one, guys. Cheers, mate.
It's alright. Take care.
Thank you.
Yep. Fantastic. So that was Robert Percival and Stuart Chapman.